Hi everyone, I wanted to make a quick video on conversions within the metric system. So this is section 7.1 in your textbooks. The metric system is a base 10 system that is used in other countries. We might express some of our units of measure using the metric system, but it's not consistent in the States, or as consistent in the States as it is in European countries. At any rate, I'm sure you're familiar with some of the metric measurements, such as kilometer or millimeters, decimeters. Those are all part of the metric system of measurement. So we want to talk about how to convert within the system, how to go from, let's say, kilograms to milligrams. So we like to use a mnemonic, which is a saying that helps us remember the system. And in the metric system, the mnemonic is King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. And each one of these letters represents a prefix for a unit of measure in the metric system. These are the most common units of measure, although there are others in the metric system. The first one is a kilogram or kilo. This H is a prefix for hecto. D is deca. And I believe your textbook spells the deca with a K. U is the basic unit. So if we're talking about a liquid, we might use liters. If we're talking about a mass or an object, we might express it in grams. So when I say unit, I'm referring to whether it's liters, grams, meters. Those are all the basic units, okay? The term that the prefix will attach itself to. The other D is deci. The C is centi. And this M is milli. The number of units in each one of these prefixes is a base of 10. So I'm going to write here in red the number of units in each prefix. There are 10 to the cubed, or 1,000 units in a kilo. 10 squared, there are 100 units in a hecto. 10 to the first, there are 10 units in a deca. 10 to the 0 is 1. There's 1 unit in a unit. A deci is 10 to the negative 1. So there are 0.1 units in a deci. Centi is 10 to the negative 2. So there's 0.01 units in a centi. And milli is 10 to the negative 3. So there are 0.001 units in a milli. Now, this can be kind of confusing, so there are a couple of ways we can convert between units, and I'm going to show you both ways. First, let's look at this method. So let's say we were given 1 hectogram. And we were asked to find how many grams were in the hecto. I'm going to do this method using the mnemonic, and then I'll do it using what we call dimensional analysis. It's just a long way of doing it, but it's useful when we get to section 7.4. So the mnemonic is King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. All right, we are given 1 hecto. So we're given 1 hecto. We're right here. And we want to convert it to grams. So we want to end up here. We are going to move the decimal 1 2 spaces. So that means that there are 100 grams in a hecto. And that's one method. The other method uses dimensional analysis, and I'm going to just clear this board really quickly. So the other one, using the same example, we were given 1 hecto, is to take your given, one hectogram, and put it over 1, and then we're going to multiply it by a conversion factor. We're going to multiply it by a conversion factor, and we want to get rid of hectograms, so it needs to go in the denominator so that when we multiply our fractions straight across, the denominator will cancel out those hectograms. And we want to end up with grams. Okay? And then what we do is we attach our values. We know from the first slide that how many grams are there in a hectogram. Hecto has the prefix 10 squared. So there are 10 squared grams in 1 hectogram. And now we multiply the fractions by multiplying numerators straight across and then the denominators. So the hectograms end up canceling out, and 1 times 10 squared is just 100. So 1 times 10 squared is 100. There are 100 grams in 1 hectogram. Let's do a few more examples, and I will stop because I don't want to make the video too long. Let's do another example. Example number 2, and I will solve this using both methods as well. Let's say we have 42.9 hectograms, and we want to find out how many grams are in it. The first method, King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Where are we? We are starting with hectograms, and we have 42.9 of them. We are here, and we want to go to our basic unit of grams. So this means we will take our decimal place and we need to move it over to the right. 1, 2 spaces. So once we move our decimal place 2 spaces, we have to fill in any humps with a 0. So this means that there are 4,290 grams and 42.9 hectograms. If we do this same example using the dimensional analysis approach, we had 42.9 hectograms was given. We put it over 1. And then we're going to multiply it using the conversion factor. We want our HGs to disappear, so it's in the numerator. In our given, it has to be in the denominator of what we're multiplying it by in order for them to cancel out. And we want to end up with grams, so it's going in our numerator. For the second factor, there are 100 or 10 squared grams in 1 hectogram. We multiply straight across. You can put this in the calculator. The hectograms cancel out. Now you can do 42.9 times 10 squared, or 42.9 times 100, and you get 4,290. And our units of measure is grams. And I think we have time for one more example before the time runs out on this app that I'm using. So let's do one more example. One more won't hurt us. Example number 3. Oh, I like this one. 40,302 milliliters. And we want to convert it to deciliters. Pay special attention to how your textbook denotes deciliters. It uses the symbol DA. DA is deca. Okay? And that's going to be important when we use our mnemonics. So we're going to use King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. And this time we are at milliliters. So we have 40,302 milliliters. We are here. And this time we want to convert this to deciliters. So we want to end up all the way over here, and we need to see how many spaces we have to move our decimal place. So we're going to move our decimal place. Let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. In which direction? 4 spaces to the left. So in the number 40,302, the decimal place is invisible, but it is right here after the 2. If we move it 4 spaces to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, it ends up right here in between the digit 4 and the digit 0. So we have 4.0302 deciliters in 40,302 milliliters.